You know what's wild? Is that we're live. It's just nuts. You know?
Are we live?
We just find ourselves here every week, sitting in the chair, going live. Dude, that's actually a sick shirt.
Existential dread.
And it's also very, very inclusive shirt, which I enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great.
Got alien skulls. I love it.
Got the old Amber Forest shirt.
I just dropped a bubbler.
Nice.
I like that.
I think this is episode 25.
Dude, the amount of episodes we've released is just like mind blowing at this point.
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, I don't know, it's just always funny to think when we were talking about doing the pod for like 6 months.
I like to just talk about doing something for so long before I like take any action on it.
Well, dude, it's like, as long as you know you're going to do it at some point, which I feel like you do, but it just takes a while to, I don't know.
I will say though, you're a little better. You're a little better because like you'll say, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking about doing this," and then you like do it pretty quickly, and I like that.
Just crush through.
I like that. Yeah. Like you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking about starting like a merch thing, a new one," and then bam, you got like the whole Shopify up in like a weekend, and I'm sitting there like, "Well, I was talking about revamping my merch site like 5 months ago, and I'm still haven't done it."
I just know myself. Like I know that's the only way I get stuff done half the time. It's like you just have to do it. Because so much of doing that stuff is like you got to do this groundwork first. It's like one-time technical stuff. Like, I don't know. But I enjoy doing it.
Totally.
So you know what I say? We just jump right into the movie of the week.
Okay.
I like just
that.
dive right in.
Let me open this bubbler. I dropped it. It might explode.
I got to crack open my moonshine bottle here. Just water and salt, but what is that, sassy?
Do you actually have... It's a Twisted Elixir. Do you actually have water with salt in it?
I do. Yep.
Dude, literally water and salt.
Dude, it's underrated. Like, I've started to really enjoy it. Like, I drink it every morning. I actually like it, like, weirdly.
Okay. That's weird, yeah.
If you toss a bit of lemon in there, it's pretty good.
Oh, that would make sense, yeah. So I don't toss any lemon because I'm on hour 44 of a fast. I do one a week. I already talked about it ad nauseum. But a little salt water gets the electrolytes going.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. So,
yeah.
So what do we got?
Movie of the week.
What do we got?
Okay, let me think.
Did you watch any?
Yes. Yep. Always do. There's always one in there, and I can never think of it, but
I could say mine though. While you're pondering, I would say I am on the Breaking Bad journey right now for probably about the 7th time watching that again. But
what's that?
Breaking Bad? Never heard of it. It's like a show about some teacher.
It a TV show?
It is, yeah. Didn't do very well, so but it's just pretty interesting. Philosophically interesting show, so.
Yeah. Sounds kind of boring, but.
Yeah.
No, one of my favorite shows.
Yeah,
Love it.
It's always good. It doesn't weirdly doesn't get boring. Like every time I watch it, I'm hooked. Fucking hooked. But yeah, my movie would have been this movie called Unfriended, which I've seen before. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it happens all on a computer screen.
Yeah.
With all the friends, like the webcams and that they're on Skype. I love that. I love that freaking kind of movie. I don't know what the genre's called.
Or you told me about one. Yeah, so
there's
it's
the person
the person that made Unfriended, they made another one. What's it called?
There's Missing and there's Searching. I don't know if it's the same people. There's the host as well. There's a few of those.
The one whose parents go missing? The mom goes missing?
Yeah, I think that's Missing. I think that is Missing, the movie.
That was really good.
Yeah, those are sick. I think with Unfriended, I was reading about how they made it. I'm pretty sure they did the whole movie in one live take, actually, which is really cool. Like, they're all in different rooms, like the actors. They were just I think they shot on, like, GoPros. So, I don't know. I always wonder how much of the, if it's a lot of post-production with, like, the computer stuff, or if they actually screen record, It's interesting. Great film.
That is interesting. Oh, I got one for you. Bolt.
Oh, yeah, you're saying.
I don't know if it's DreamWorks or if it's a Pixar. I don't know. I don't even know if it's either. But I mean, it's on Disney Plus. So it's probably one of the two animation studios. But yeah, dude, it's actually pretty good. I think it's from maybe like mid 2010s, like I don't know, like 2016. I remember in theaters, I had to pee so bad during it that I couldn't enjoy it at all. You know, like where you're holding it and you're like, I shouldn't be, but I don't want to miss anything.
Do you ever feel like awkward too? It's like you got to plan getting up when it's dark or
you
something.
gotta like go through the row.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel terrible. So, anyways, I was like, oh, like I'll throw it on again, dude. So enjoyable. There's a little hamster. He's a little like side character. So funny. Probably like one of the funniest like animated characters I've ever seen, dude. Like I honestly, it's worth watching just for the hamster in a ball.
I'm just looking to see if I've seen it or not. I don't think I have.
It's basically about a dog who thinks he has superpowers because the movie opens up with him being like the super dog, and you're like, holy crap. And then you realize like, oh, he's like an action star. Like he's a movie star, the dog. But like Hollywood or whatever his, the production company doesn't want him to think that he's not a super dog. So he believes that he has these powers, and like, he talks in it. It's like classic animated film. He talks and like he's like convinced like, yeah, I have like superpowers, and like everyone else knows that he doesn't in the production. And it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of like an adventure film. He gets lost and he has to find his way back home, and he's like trying to like do his superpowers in real life, and like everyone's like, what are you doing? Befriends a cat, befriends a hamster. It's just a great little flick. It is.
People love talking animals. They just do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that animation process is interesting because I think, they do record. They record all the audio first before doing the animation, as far as I know.
Sometimes it seems like there's a little bit of like interplay there, like where they might adjust stuff based on the visuals, but I think it is probably mainly just all before.
Yeah, because they would have to sync the animation to the audio. But
totally,
I was speaking with this guy that worked at like a huge studio for a long time, and he was just kind of telling me about ADR, which is obviously after a film's shot, like actors go in and they'll re-record lines in like a vocal booth, and they'll use that in the movie because maybe there was noise in the audio or the take wasn't good. And he was telling me that I forget who it was, but he was saying there's a lot of movies and directors that like 80% of their film is ADR. And then he was telling me that David Fincher is 100% ADR. He doesn't use any dialogue from what they shoot. And I was like, damn, dude, like you're like making a whole other movie after you've already shot. I don't even know how actors like are able to sync up to what they said on screen.
All the phonetics and cadences and timing.
And you're not like
you're reacting.
Moment. Yeah.
Yeah, you're reacting everything. That's crazy.
I didn't know that. That's got to be kind of a bummer when you're an actor, but it's just part of it.
Man, that's crazy. I would love to see a movie that I know is all ADR and just like try to see how noticeable it is.
Yeah. I tried doing for the one Firelight thing we shot with the cop and all that, where I was like, I just didn't like my performance. I was trying to do some, and I was wearing like a face covering, and I still could not get it right. Like you couldn't even see my mouth moving. It's like, that's like a skill. Pretty nuts.
Oh, that's true. That was hard. I think it's important to use the same mic when people do that too.
Right. Yeah. Like using like this mic just is, too much.
Should be so different. I also saw The Dilemma. It's with Vince Vaughn and Kevin James.
The Dilemma.
That's pretty good.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't want to say a bromance film, but it's kind of like two guys. One guy catches the other guy's wife cheating, and the dilemma is like, do I tell him about this, or do I wait till we're done with this like work project that's like really pressing and important for our future, because he didn't want to like screw up the guy's focus. I don't know. It's actually pretty good. I don't know. I liked it.
Not seen it. I love Vince Vaughn though. One of the funniest guys.
Yeah, Kevin James is one of my favorite too. Like from King of Queens. Oh, love that sitcom. That's probably one of my favorite sitcoms of all time.
Yeah, haven't seen it.
Funny, dude.
Paul Blart.
Hilarious. Yeah, that's a great one. I love that, dude.
That's good, yeah.
Oh,
dude,
man.
One of the first things I saw Vince Vaughn in was the Psycho remake. So creepy in that. But then realized he's like more of a comedian. So yeah, I did start watching Bates Motel again. I don't know if you ever seen that.
No, I haven't watched it, but I know a lot of people love it.
Yeah, dark show, but just so good.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
Yeah. I'm kind of in that stage where I just want to like watch like nature documentaries and relax at the end of the night and not even I don't know, I haven't been watching too much. You a big nature documentary guy?
I always am like, oh, those are so boring, but then once they come on, I'm like, okay, like I'll just kind of end up watching it.
You learn some stuff. It's like cozy if they got a good narrator.
Like there's some, maybe it was Disney that did them recently, but they did a few for IMAX that were just like nuts. I think so. They did one about like apes, gorillas. I think they did a few different ones. I don't think I saw them, but I was reading about them. I always like when it's like about an animal and then you see it like fighting other animals or something like that. That's always cool.
I always hate though when they have like a tiger killing I don't know. Well, I actually don't know what other I don't know what prey are with tigers, but like yeah, if you see like a cougar killing an antelope, I always hate that. I just don't want to see it kill it, you know. It's nature, it's just life. But I always am like sad to see it.
What's there's one on Netflix. I can't find the name, but it's a documentary. The guy that made it was on Rogan, but it's about like I think it's about gorillas, and it's like their whole social hierarchy and everything.
Oh,
and
it was chimps?
Maybe it was chimps.
Chimp Empire? Like
yeah,
Chimp
that one.
Empire?
That one was nuts,
wild.
dude. That was so good.
Yeah.
It's just crazy that they can get that close to all that and just document it all.
Dude, you know what's really weird? What I found out, which is it makes total obvious sense. You know, like those insanely close shots of like caterpillars and like flies and like it's all like in a studio in like a terrarium.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, it's not none of those close shots of like fungus and like mushrooms doing like a time lapse. None of that is in real life. It's in like terrarium studio environments, but they make you think that like, oh, this is happening in the jungle floor when actually it's like a legit studio. It's so funny. Like when a snake attacks something, like that's all fake. Like none of that is in the wild.
So funny because that's like the most obvious answer, and I never thought of that.
Yeah, it's so obvious, but I like even like they make like the pattern of like the fungus growing and like they add like all like the moss and like the grass and they like design the whole set and it's like in this glass terrarium thing that a camera has like dolly tracks on and like they will like track on to like a caterpillar like moving across the forest floor. It's insane.
Well, that's the movie magic. I mean, dude, like most shows and movies, like even Breaking Bad, it's like a soundstage. It's like a fake bedroom, fake whatever inside of a studio. So it's
like reality TV, same type of thing.
Yeah, dude. I mean, even when we've shot, we use different buildings for the outside and the inside of stuff, and it's all just a big trick, big lie.
Fairy dust.
Even with like food commercials, like half of that is like fake food, not even real.
Yeah. When I was at NAB, there was like displays of like fake food with like robot like camera things like panning around it.
It's so crazy. Because it's like that always, it looks so good and it's never really like that in real life.
Yeah.
Like even for ice cream, don't they use like mashed potatoes? I'm sure they just use like synthetic stuff now, but I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah. Whatever looks the best. I feel like I've seen some food commercials where the food actually objectively doesn't look good. And I'm like, I wonder if they actually did use real food for that.
Yeah. I feel like half of that too is just the audio, like the sounds, you know. Like when you're in the theater and you hear like the Coke, the Coca-Cola. Oh, you're like, I want one so bad.
I was just thinking the popcorn like pop, 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 pop. It like fills up and then you like have like the ice clink, 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 clink. And then they go, oh my God.
God, I want one. I just want to experience that right now. It's so good.
Smell. But that's what I love. Like when I mentioned this before, but when you're a kid and like you're in the theater and like the lights are dim and you see like the Coca-Cola thing pop up and like turn your phones down, whatever. It's like it gets you in that mood.
Yeah, it's magic.
Awesome.
It's true magic, man.
Really is. Yeah, I'm sad that like I mean, I don't know how much like cinema attendance has gone down. I'm sure it's gone down a ton, like theater attendance and stuff, but man, you cannot compare watching a movie at home to something in theaters.
No.
Unless you have like a home theater. Even if you have a home theater, there's something like special about seeing it out in public in a way too, especially if it's a great screen, like great sound. It's so hard to replicate that sound.
Oh,
like,
exactly.
In a real place.
I think part of it too, like what I enjoy, as annoying as it can be sometimes, there's other people talking and stuff.
Yeah.
But just like sitting down with other people watching a movie is just like, I don't know, something special about it. If you care about movies, that's just the community aspect.
Yeah, I heard this like on the internet recently where it was like humans oddly kind of like hanging out with strangers.
Right. It's comforting in a way.
It's like when you go to a restaurant, like you're sitting down with a bunch of strangers eating food. Like, why would you want to do that? But somehow it's like, and look, I'm really introverted, so I don't necessarily like doing that all the time. Like I vastly prefer to just like pick up my food, go home, veg out on the couch and just like hammer down my meal, watching something myself. But I will say every now and then go into sitting, dressing up kind of nice, going to a sit down restaurant with other people, ordering like a fun cocktail maybe or some other thing and having like a nice meal. It's like, it's kind of
something
nice.
about it. It's just because it's like peace, everyone's just peaceful, just eating, taking a moment, forgetting about everything.
Working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is
They're
really
like
nice.
present doing that thing.
Yeah.
Sort of.
What I find interesting, what I notice a lot more, like if I go to like the grocery store or something, like I always use self-checkout every time.
Yeah.
And I notice like a lot of people, even if there's like cashiers that don't have a line, like people will wait in line for self-checkout now instead of going.
Right.
So it's just interesting how much people don't want to deal with, having to interact with each other if they don't have to. But then it's like you still like the whole kind of group aspect of like a restaurant or something, but you don't have to interact with people really that much. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's like, it's weird because we definitely have like a nature of like, or it's like if you're on a bus, you go to sit on a bus or on a train, you usually try to pick a spot that's like the furthest away from the next person. Dude, I remember though, like it's different in different cultures, I feel like, because I remember being in college, there was a cafeteria. Dude, the whole cafeteria was pretty empty. And I remember sitting down at like the corner of this insanely massive empty table. And I'm sitting in there. There's like barely anyone in the whole cafeteria. Dude, this kid who I could tell like he was from overseas. And he literally comes, I don't know who he is. He comes literally, puts his food right next to me and sits down right next to me in a massive cafeteria. Doesn't say a word to me the whole time.
Really?
Doesn't even acknowledge me.
Huh.
Like I was like, interesting. Like what is that? And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, like really you had to come sit right by me? Like I get it if you're going to be like, hey, I want to introduce myself. My name's Tim. Like
that probably was his name.
It probably was. And I'll never know, but I do know that I was thinking to myself like, really? Like why? Like why would you do that? But at the same time, it's like, why does it matter either? Like we have some, I don't know. It's like, it's just weird though, because it's like, why would you do that? I don't know.
That is
I've heard
I've
heard that before though, of other people having similar experiences.
Yeah, man. It's just always a bit uncomfortable. When I was living downtown Toronto, like the Toronto subways are greasy, dude. But I would take them all the time, but you just get used to it. But dude, almost every time there's some nuts person walking through it, just talking to themselves and yelling, and you're just like, oh fuck, like you're sitting there just hoping they don't stop. I've had it a lot of times though where they would, I feel like I attracted that for some reason because I would always be the one that gets like focused on.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Dude, I remember this one guy.
You stand out visually, probably.
Yeah, maybe that could be it. There was this one time it was like really late. It was probably like 11, and I wanted to buy this camera lens so bad. So it's like it's called Kijiji, which is like Canada's Craigslist. So I was like, yeah, I'll come like, meet up and buy this lens. Some guy. So I'd take the subway. So it was really empty at that time, but I was coming back from that. And there's this dude that comes on, like really greasy looking guy, like ripped shirts and stuff. And I always like, I'm like, I feel kind of bad, you know, and they usually ask for change. If I have change, I'll have the time just give it. But he came up and he was talking to me. He was really nice. And I gave him some money. And he got off at the next stop. And I'm just like watching him walk away. Dude, like a fucking movie, he stops. His pants fall down. Like bare bum. And I was like, what the fuck? Like they just fucking fall down. It was very strange. But I just always remember that, man. Never get that out of my head.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was weird.
Dude, that exact same thing happened to me in an old Chicago. You know the restaurant in old Chicago? You never expect for someone's pants to fully drop in an old Chicago. It's not something you would ever like imagine would happen. No, it can happen. It can definitely happen, dude. Dude, it's like a pizzeria bar, you know. Like if you've ever been to one. Dude, I'm just sitting in this old Chicago. I'm like, I don't know if I ordered something. Yeah, I think I like ordered something or I was picking up an order. And I'm just waiting there and I look at the bar and there's a guy by himself and he's just like slamming down beers. And he's got kind of like a dazed look on his face. You know, he's kind of like, you can tell he's tipsy. But little did I know, like all of a sudden, this guy's jeans, he's got jeans on too. Drop, fully commandoed, was not wearing any underwear. And he just whoop, he like picks them back up. They just like drop for like a second. He just plays it off completely. And I'm just like, I just saw. I'm just like confused at what happened. Like, I'm like, how did that just happen? I just saw a man's hog in public.
Was he like
in an old Chicago
looking guy? Like, or
oh, not really.
No, he's like kind of maybe off the street.
He had that look. He had that look of this guy goes commando, you know, like he doesn't wear underwear.
I never understood why that's appealing, but you know, to each their own. That's fucking wild. So funny.
Different sensation, I'm sure, but not one I would personally want. Yeah, because jeans are uncomfortable. Like, why would you want, you know, jeans are like scratchy.
I don't know.
And you got the zipper, dude. Like, oh man, that would hurt.
Yeah, we've all
Oh yeah, we've all yeah. We don't even have to say it.
Yeah.
That's funny, but dude. I will say, you never know.
You just don't.
What's going to happen? You can't wake up and just know what's going to happen that day.
Yeah. No, you can't.
It's definitely a stimulus to the old mind. You're like, whoa. You're like, you wake up almost. You know, like, whoa. Where am I? You know.
Yeah.
But
one time in Vegas too.
Oh yeah, dude. One time I was in the desert, like a scene out of Mad Max. This greasy old not pickup truck, like semi, like a greasy, grimy semi, pulled over on the side of the road in the middle of the desert, and a lady comes out of like the driver's seat, just covered in dirt, and like I was like, whoa, like what's going on? And like she like didn't have clothes on, like lower half of her body. I remember just sitting there like, wow, like I'm in the United States of America. Like, what am I witnessing? And I don't know what was going on. You know, maybe it was a truck driver who, you know, who knows? But it was like scary. Like I was actually scared because it looked like not a good situation, but she just like walked away, just like walked down the road in this abandoned, or I don't know if she abandoned the truck there or if there was an actual truck driver and she was like in the back or something. It was not good though. I was like, ooh. But it's weird because it's like, I don't know. You don't see that kind of stuff in like the Midwest.
It's just weird when you get these little glimpses into like, wow, there's like a greasy underbelly of society. Because you're not used to that. Because, you know, that's not part of your atmosphere. But then you realize like there's so like just greasy stuff and people living lives you can't even imagine going on, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's wild.
A lot of greasy stuff out there.
Yeah, for sure. So where do we go from here? Where do we pivot this, you know? It's always a mental game because you're like trying to pre-plan like, oh, I can branch the conversation off.
I was going to say the weather has been great here. I am like loving it. I think for most people, summer's like awesome. It depends. If you live in Vegas, like I bet it can get rough because like it's like 115 there sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
like in the desert, like we were just talking about. But yeah, dude, summer's basically. I feel like it's here.
She's
It's
here.
not, but it's storming, dude. There was a tornado watch all day yesterday. I was like, ooh, like we've entered that time.
Have you ever seen a tornado in person? Like an actual funnel?
Yeah,
Have you?
not one touchdown, but dude, I was in Wyoming with my family on like a vacation in the middle of nowhere, literally Wyoming, and there's a massive funnel cloud. I'm like 11 years old. My stepdad and my mom were driving in our truck. We got like a camper in the back. And in the middle of nowhere, there's this massive funnel cloud. It's just like rotating. And it's got the stem, where like the stem's flirting with the ground. It was like right in front of us. There was no one else. And I was just like, this is it. I'm gone. Like I'm screwed, dude. And I was like, I was afraid of tornadoes already, like just being at home, like always in the basement. Every time we would have tornadoes, like tornado warnings or tornadoes touch down in my old house, I would like grab my PS2, bring it down the basement, grab my guitars, bring it down the basement. I'd have like my guitars and like my video games protected in the basement because like that's the best place to protect from tornadoes. And I would just like take like the cross off the wall and just be holding it, like praying, like, okay, like we'll be okay. Because dude, tornadoes are scary when you're a kid. I mean, they're scary no matter what age you are.
Yeah.
But going back to that story, just so I can finish, yeah, we like my stepdad was like, well, we can't do anything. Like we don't want to drive into the basically like funnel cloud area tornado. So he's like, well, all we can do is we like pulled over an underpass, just like a bridge. And we just sat under a bridge as it like the hail started coming down, like the funnel cloud just started reaching us. And it wasn't touched down yet though. It was like just like flirting with it. And oh, I was so afraid. I remember my mom was like, yeah, I can see some pipes under the bridge there. If this thing touches down, I'm going to go over there and grab on or like latch myself onto the pipes like in Twister.
Dude, that's exactly what they did.
Freaking out. Yeah, I was freaking out because I was like, no. Like I maybe she was joking, but like I was freaking out, dude. But anyways, that's like the closest encounter I've had with a tornado.
Yeah.
Scary stuff.
I recently watched a Netflix documentary about the Joplin insane one that happened there. And just people telling their stories. Like they're like trapped in this little like convenience store in this like fridge place. And it was just like the roof is getting ripped off the walls. And they're just hanging on for dear life. Like one of their friends is starting to lift up and he's holding on to the other people. Like,
Oh, I saw that. Is that like a new Netflix documentary?
Yeah, fairly new. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude. Can't imagine. But that's the thing is like nature's, dude. It doesn't give a shit. It's coming through. You ever watch storm chasers on YouTube? Like people that chase tornadoes? No, I don't think I really have. No.
It's crazy. They get really close. Some of the trucks, they'll like accidentally, they won't time it right. And they'll be like, oh no. And then like the tornado turns around, goes right for them. And they have to just like hunker down and they're just like praying and screaming. You can hear them in the car, which is like, obviously they put it on themselves, but damn, like you can feel the terror they're feeling like while they're underneath the funnel. But yeah, dude, it's wild.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
You're not safe from anything out there.
That's the thing is we take it all for granted that nature can do whatever the hell it wants. Like wherever it is in California, those plates or whatever that could just collapse. What is it? I don't know what it is.
Tectonic plates.
Yeah. Like that. How can you live
There's like
there?
A fault line.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, like Los Angeles, the San Andreas fault, like, I mean, every time when I was living there full time, it was like, you definitely have that feeling in the back of your head, like, yeah, like at any moment, if this like goes off to how it like they predict it will at some point, it's not good.
Yeah.
You do not want to be in a tall building. Like, I don't know. It's scary. It's scary. Because like there's always like predictions like, yeah, like scientists predict like basically at any time this thing could just absolutely go off. It's kind of like the Yellowstone super volcano. Like if that thing ever goes off, which it's due. Like it went off like 600,000 years ago and it goes off like every 600,000 years. And it's absolutely due to go off like at any point, Not saying like it will, but it's just like you always have that in the back of your head. Like what control do you really have over stuff? Like, I mean, you definitely can like order your life in a way where your like risks are the lowest possible, but it does seem like there's a bit of fate that's kind of intertwined with all of that.
Yeah, 100%.
Just because of the nature of nature.
The nature of nature.
The nature of
the nature of nature. Yeah. It's nuts. It's nuts. So you pulled the trig. On the opto.
Yeah, I got a compressor. I'm going to be cranking knobs.
What was your title idea?
Quitting
Cranking
jobs.
knobs, a new beginning.
Cranking knobs and quitting jobs. I don't have a job, but if I had one, I'd quit just so I could crank knobs.
Yeah, dude. It's magic, pure magic.
Context would be bad, but yeah. No, it's like, I mean, the whole point I got, so I have this like Heritage Audio HA73 EQ preamp. The thing is I had to get rid of my interface. Like, yeah, obviously told you all about it. Had to buy a new interface just so I could buy a preamp, just so I could buy a compressor.
Yeah.
So I bought the compressor Audioscape. Is it called the Audioscape 2A or Audioscape Opto
Audioscape
2A?
Opto. Same thing, but that's what they call it.
Optical compression, yeah, 10x1. I'm excited.
It's a
like
pure
when
beauty.
Yeah. Well, when I started off learning like music production, I did learn in college, which is crazy because I was like shit on college. But yeah, I went to college because I was like confused, didn't know what I wanted to do, even though I liked music. But anyways, so founded like music production in college and had an amazing professor. But we had like distressors, Universal Audio 1176s, like SSL consoles. We had API preamps. We had all this cool stuff. And so I was like, I learned on real gear. That's how I learned. And when I graduated, like I remember my professor was like, yeah, like you guys are going to have these like, you're going to have like this adjustment period where you're very sad for a bit. And I was like, what do you mean? And then like all of a sudden I leave college. I don't have like every single plugin known to man on the computer because the college studios have every plugin. I don't have any gear whatsoever. Like I have a really shitty mic and a really shitty interface, and I would like record my vocals and I would listen back and I'd be like, oh my gosh, dude, I am screwed right now.
Yeah.
So
it's brutal.
But now, because of you, luckily you built out this analog studio. You're writing your new album, and obviously I heard it and was like, oh my gosh, dude, like this is no comparison to just digital. I mean, I'm not saying anyone out there should, do that necessarily because like you can get an amazing sound with a bad mic and a cheap interface with good mixing. But when you're as sensitive to audio as someone like us who've been doing it for a really long time, you just can't go back once you hear what could be. So yeah.
I think it just really just depends, because so many like a lot of times I think it's like producers. Like they build a studio just for the purpose of having other musicians there. They don't necessarily, the musicians don't really care sometimes, right? Or if you're just like a bedroom producer and you make your own stuff, you're just kind of used to like just going all digital. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it is like just doing it for so long. You always are chasing something a bit better. But yeah, once you hear it, because for me, it's like the live monitoring. Like even right now, I'm hearing myself talk and it's going through my compressor and it's just like, ooh, it just gets you in the moment. And
it's
same
alive.
with singing, exactly. And there's just something about and we've talked about this, but like the audio going through like physical electronics and components that it's just gives it this warmth and magic, So it's not necessary, but I don't understand when people say it doesn't do anything. I don't agree with that. Because there are people that are like, it doesn't matter. It's the same as plugins. I just don't agree.
Yeah.
Can't agree.
No, because, and we talked about this before, like the fidelity of the audio, digital versus analog. Digital is just zeros and ones. That's all it is. And then analog, like a waveform, instead of, it's like a sine wave in analog is literally like a smooth sine wave. Like it's actually like this. But if you look at a digital sine wave, it looks like that, right? It looks the same. If you zoom in on it, it's actually 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0. It's a step function of ones and zeros. So it sounds different. It's why people got into, listening to records again, and they would buy what do you call them? Like the vinyl.
Yeah.
It's why people love vinyl. There's like a magic to it. Like people say, oh, it just sounds so much better because it's like real physical, like it's real audio that's not just digitally produced only. So I think it's cool, like running through these, circuits and then when it does get converted to digital, it's got this like real magic to it. But I guess in the end, like, it is always getting converted digitally
Yeah,
in a
for
sense.
sure, yeah.
But it's like, how much real punch and real sound does it have before it gets digitally converted? I think that's what we're talking about, recording your mic through compressors and preamps and
Yeah, exactly. And also
so.
like having this bus compressor, it's like my final mix, I'm running it through another compressor and just recording the output of that compressor. So yeah, it's still digital, but you know, you're getting, I don't know. So yeah, it's interesting. That kind of reminds me, totally unrelated, but the guy I was talking to the other day, he used to do like sound at a big studio. We were potentially have him on the pod, but he was telling me that I don't remember the movie. It was a huge movie. It might have been Fight Club, a movie that he worked on, but he was telling me that for the audio, they basically what they did was like they had the, you know, all the dialogue and stuff, and instead of adding digital reverb, they actually went into like a school gymnasium and played it through a speaker and then recorded that, and that's what they used, which I just thought was really interesting.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd love to hear more about all that. He was also telling me how, because he worked on Star Wars, like how they made the lightsaber sounds and all that. It's just like, shit is fascinating. But
That's crazy.
yeah, man, audio is a crazy thing. And it sucks when you're really critical, because at some point it's like, oh, this all sounds like so bad to you. But then you just got to step away, you know? So.
Yeah, I've got a friend learning production now where, you know, he's usually works with producers, right? And it's like, wants to get into his own stuff, wants to mix himself, but it's like, you have to like train your ear. Like, so the first thing is like training your ear to like learn what you like, what sounds you like, how to EQ, how to compress, do all this stuff. But then it gets to the point where you're so hypercritical about every little detail that everything sounds bad until you like stop listening for like a day or two. And then you come back to it and you're like, wow, this sounds good, or wow, this really does sound bad. Because sometimes if you work on something all night, usually you'll come back to that the next day and be like, wow, that sounded bad. But if it's something you just did and you just spent barely any time and you just kind of used your instincts immediately, you're like, yeah, I like that compression, I like that EQ. Yeah, it sounds good. And then you step away and you come back. Usually it sounds amazing. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, man. What I've liked is like, you know, just some of the, even like, I don't know, playing acoustic stuff. Even if it's like the take isn't perfect, there's something about it, like the gear and like just running it through the analog. It kind of makes you feel like you're just like in the room with the guitar being played. And It just got this kind of, wherever it sits, it still sounds good. It sounds like organic and real. Yeah. And I know that's not everyone's thing. And I get, you know, a lot of producers and musicians are like, well, no one will be able to know the difference, which is true. It's like people listening, they're not going to be like, oh, that wasn't recorded with analog gear, right? So I get that mindset on it, you know, but
I think it can be subconscious though.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like where you hear something and you're like, especially when you're like a little kid and you watch a movie and you're like, God, I love that movie. I don't know. Like I love the look. I don't know why I love the look, but something about it just has like a magic to it. And I think that can be the same with sound, because I mean, people are sensitive enough to hear the difference between vinyl and MP3. So it's like, I think it's like they'll never know how it was recorded. They'll never know exactly how things were done. But I do think there's this sonic characteristic that is subconsciously recognized as like, ooh, I kind of like that. Like, that sound, damn, like I like that sound. And I do think that analog does help you usually get a little bit more of that magic. But yeah, it's totally subjective. It's just like film. You know, I love film better than digital. Like for cinematic films, it's like I just love seeing that real. I love seeing the screen shake a little bit.
Yeah,
the gate weave. You know, the film's running through the thing. It's shaking. You get that breath.
Yeah,
it's just from the film running through, and it feels alive. Like seeing the grain. It's just like, oh shit, this is like a real image. It's like it's alive. You know,
100%.
And digital, it feels kind of lifeless. And a lot of people will say that, like some of these modern Netflix shows that just get produced and like they're like cookie cutter. They look cheesy. Like the sets look kind of just like made in like 2 seconds, and you're like, ooh, like this is just lifeless. And then people will say that, like I've seen on like online forums, like, why do like movies just not look as good as they used to? Like, so what is that? But I do think it is like, obviously it comes down to like lighting, set design, but yeah, I think there's a magic to the real thing.
Yeah, dude. I watch a lot of those, the shorts that come up on YouTube with like the, whatever that song is, like the nostalgic song from Donkey Kong. And they got like,
what is it called? Underwater. No, it's
aquatic ambience or something.
Ambience.
But it's like the shorts, they'll have like just a bunch of pictures from like the 90s, playing video games in the bedroom, like playing Beyblade. Like just so much shit I forgot about, like snacks and like those pens with like all the multicolored things that you press them all down at once.
I love those.
That kind of stuff. You're like,
I freaking loved them though.
Man, there was so much like texture to that era. I don't know if it's just because you're looking back on it, but there was something about it, dude. Because I feel like now, like everything is like mass produced. Everything is like what's gonna make the most money. Like before, I just feel like it was more like a playful kind of time,
Yeah, I think it was probably all for a lot for money back then too. But there's something about it. It's like there's more contrast between things because now things are starting to kind of merge and like seem like everything's the same. And it's always like social media and like screens and the newest, like, dude, look at iPhone, like look at a phone from today to 5 years ago. It looks the same.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, that was not the case in the 90s,
No,
2000s.
not at all,
it was
dude.
vastly different. Dude, I sent you the Sonic video game Happy Meal toy.
Oh yeah.
It was literally like a Sonic. Sega made like little like video game things.
Yeah, I loved those.
That you could have in a Happy Meal.
Yep. I saw a picture of this thing. It was called Bullseye Pinball. And it was just like a tiny little toy with a little trampoline. You bounce like the ball bearings, and it's just like a pinball, or not a pinball, but like, you got to throw them in the hole. And there was like a guy's voice that's like Bullseye when you got it. That was like my favorite toy when I was a kid, dude. But
dude, I loved the game that was like football, and it was just a dot that would move. It could move like 3 or 4 steps this way and then this way, and you would just like dodge, like you just clicked it, like you just dodged like the like defenders, and you tried to score a touchdown. You had to pass the screen 3 times to score a touchdown.
That shit was awesome.
Like it was a tiny screen.
I used to have one of those that was like a checkers game too, and it was so fucking hard, dude. The computer was so good. I'd get so mad at it. That shit was awesome though. I don't know.
Yeah. Like where the video game, like the machine has one game.
Exactly.
But it's like a portable machine, like a Game Boy, but it does one game.
Yeah.
Love those things, dude.
Or like in cereal boxes, you'd get a video game. Like a disc.
Hell yeah.
Like Pajama Sam. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Oh my God.
Dude, that was insane. I loved that game. Just get it with like a box of Corn Pops. Just hours and hours of an amazing game.
The Captain Crunch one. Do you remember that? I was telling you about it.
I never played that. Was it a game?
Oh.
It was a game, yeah.
Insane game, dude. Yeah, you're a little crunchling. And you have to eat an insane amount of Captain Crunch in the game to like evolve. It was like Pokemon, dude. It was like you had 3 levels of evolution. And you would like play a level, you'd play like a skateboard, jump over these things, and then you'd get back to home base after the mini game was done, and you were like, all right, time to eat some Captain Crunch. And you'd like pull the lever, a bunch of Captain Crunch would fall down, and he would just like scarf it up. And then like eventually you do enough mini games and you eat enough Captain Crunch, like all of a sudden you evolve and you like grow bigger. And you're like stronger and better at the games. And then you keep doing it, and eventually it's like your God mode. Crunchling.
It's just a giant ad for Captain Crunch.
Oh,
But
yeah.
It's amazing though.
Yeah. Oh, it's so amazing, yeah. Or the floppy disk games. I got floppy disk game. Those are wild.
Yeah. Yeah, man. What else did you get? You just get random stuff like, I don't know. Can't remember what else.
Weird toys.
Yeah.
There's this like, do you remember that show that was like, it was kind of like Transformers, but it was like animals transforming into like things. It was called like Beastborg.
Never. I don't think I saw it.
Oh, I gotta like look this up quick just to figure out what this is. It's called like Beastborg or something, but it's insane. And I think they had like McDonald's toys for this, like Beastborg. It's like animal.
Do you even get toys with
Transformers.
Happy Meals now? Do they do that still?
I'm not sure. I think they do.
Dude, I found recently this. It was like a Mewtwo gold bar that I got with a Happy Meal, and they're worth like maybe $100 now. But it's like,
Are
that's
those
so
actually
cool.
valuable? Because I remember those. Those were insane.
If they're in
dude.
really good condition, I think they can be. But
Yeah, they were like promoting the Pokemon movie at that time.
yeah.
Dude, those were so cool. They're like ancient Mews.
Yeah, they were sick.
Those were so sick.
I always enjoyed the McDonald's like Monopoly thing they would do with their drinks, where you get like a little Monopoly thing, try to collect everything.
My mom, one of my mom's friends, like won like 20 grand on that. I think I remember.
That's crazy, dude.
Or even more than that. It could have been.
They did this thing with Tim Hortons every year. They still do it, but it's called Roll Up the Rim. And it's just the rim on your coffee cup. You like roll it up and it'll say like, hey, you won like a free coffee, free donut. And there was like cars and stuff. But when you won a free coffee, dude, it was like the best. And you just rip it off and give it to the people.
Yeah, dude, toys were epic. I just found, I posted a reel on this like last summer, but I found like, well, I didn't find it, but like basically all my old toys have been like stored away in chests. I like never could like get rid of my old toys. I just like didn't have the guts to like sell them.
Yeah.
Or donate them, which I should, because it's like someone should enjoy those. But the problem is they're all like vintage 90s toys that like they're kind of like broken and like crappy. And like some of them are actually valuable, but I don't even want to sell them because I'm like, it's just like too much sentimental value. And I don't even use them. Like I don't open the chests. I'm just like hoarding multiple toy chests that I had as a kid. And I'm like, it's weird. Like
No,
I
it's
feel
awesome.
bad about I feel bad about it kind of. But I'm like, well, I don't know. Like I want to hold on to my childhood in some subconscious way, probably. And like, I need to, I don't know. It's interesting.
Do you remember Furbies?
Yeah.
Those are cool. I had a lot of those. Bop It. I'm just looking up toys from the 90s.
Dude, I always got confused between Gremlins and Furbies.
Yeah, Gremlins. What was that thing?
Bop-Its were insane.
I don't know if you ever,
Bop It.
this is kind of an obscure toy, but it was
Twisted.
called Stink Blasters.
Oh my God, dude. I think I know what you're talking about.
And there were Smelly Bellies, which were these little
God.
beanie things, but they smelled good. They all had like a good scent. Fuck.
I
that's
remember
nostalgic.
having this toy that was like, it was a fish and it smelled horrible. It was like a toy fish and it smelled like ammonia, like sulfur and ammonia. It was just the most horrid smell.
I remember this fish. It was like a wall plaque, and it was this fish that could move,
Oh,
and it
yeah.
would say Bud Weiser, and it was like a beer fish. You remember that?
I had one that said, don't worry,
Oh yeah.
Be
Oh my
happy.
god, dude.
don't worry, be happy.
Was that a frog or was that a fish?
Dun, 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 dun.
Can't remember.
That was a fish.
Yeah, it
That
was a fish.
I remembered another one for you. Dude, there was this game where you would go, like it was called like Beast Scanners. Oh my God, dude. It was like a game where you would go into a grocery store and scan barcodes. And it was like Pokemon where like you could encounter like a beast
That's crazy.
and like fight it and like capture it as your own. But it was like hidden in barcodes in grocery stores. So you would just be in the grocery store like scanning every fucking item. And like, oh my God, what did I get? And like, it would freak out if you like got some like you encountered some crazy monster. It was kind of like Pokemon Go, but instead of GPS, it used just like store barcodes. Insane.
Did you ever play like with like army men or anything like that? Did you ever do that? Like those
Yeah,
little green
I did
guys.
a little bit.
That shit was fun,
Totally.
dude. Like I would do that. My friend would come over and we had like these big dirt piles. So we'd each have a side and we'd set up our guys and we'd like throw rocks and shit like that.
Yeah.
So fun, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, the green army men, they got like the weird base.
Yeah. Hot
Either
Wheels
got like
too.
the single base or the two base. Yeah.
Little
Yeah, Hot Wheels were
parachutes.
sick too.
Yeah, Hot
Dude,
Wheels were sick.
I always wanted those Hot Wheels setups where like you would set up this massive course and it was almost like a Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah,
and
I
like the
know.
car would go down and it would like fly off the jump and then you'd have to like catch it like with some other it's kind of like, you remember the game Mousetrap?
Mhm. Oh, I loved that game because of that. Because it was so
It's
cool. Yeah.
insane, dude. Yeah, it's kind of like that. That's how the Hot Wheels technology was. I remember there was like these places where they were doing market research where you could test out toys and get paid like $20 for doing it. Oh my God. So freaking epic, dude.
That's sick.
And I went there once and I like tested out a bunch of toys, like, and they would show you advertisements And they'd be like, "Oh, what'd you think about this ad? Like, would you want to buy that toy?" And I'd be like, or like, no, yes, this, and then they give you a $20 check at the end of the session. So, dude, best money I ever earned.
Yeah, that's pretty
Easily
amazing.
the greatest money. As a kid, they're like, "Yeah, you want to test out a bunch of toys and then get paid $20?" Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. Yeah, good old days, man. Just, I always have a hard time with. I'm still coming to terms, trying to like process that like that is gone forever, like your childhood. I don't know why. Like recently I've just kind of been going through that. Like I'm 30, that time's never coming back, and it's like you just got to come to peace with it, and just be
You wrote
thankful.
a great song about it.
I did. Yeah, I wrote a song about it.
Great song.
I did.
One of my faves.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that just came out. I'm going to put that on the album. I realized last night I've got all the songs for the album. I haven't recorded them all, but I know what they're going to be.
Yeah.
So she's getting there.
I feel like this could just be like a nostalgia podcast.
Yeah, 100%. It's always nice.
Nostalgic. It is, though. It's fun. Scanners was the game I was thinking of.
Scanners. Nice.
Look it up. Buy one, probably like $5,000. I love it's so funny when you see things from your childhood that are like $1,000 on eBay.
I know.
And you paid like $1 for it back in the day. You're like, if I would have known as a kid, dude, like all the kids, like think about it, even in the 50s, all those 50s toys are valuable. It's like honestly, if you're a kid, like maybe you should hoard your stuff. Like maybe actually, like, you know what? I think I'm doing the right thing because I've looked at like a bunch of my Power Rangers and stuff, and it's like they're all pretty valuable. And I'm like, this is, I might be justified in this.
Dude, I'm just looking at images. There's this one thing, you'd probably have to see it, but it was like this plastic guy, and it had like fake like boogers you pull out.
Oh,
do you remember that? You don't remember that?
What's it called though?
I don't know. I can't see the name. But and then there was this thing that was like a Spider-Man web. It's like a canister you attach to your arm. Did you ever see that? Did you have one of those?
Yes, I did have that.
So awesome. And dude, oh my God, these fucking little robot dogs with the bone. Holy hell.
Oh yeah, I remember that, dude. I remember that. Dude, is it like the black and white robots?
There were what were they called? iDog is what it was called.
iDogs. Yep, my brother had one of those. It was awesome. They were big, kind of. They're like,
holy hell.
They would walk.
And the toothbrush, Tooth Tunes. Remember that? It would play music while you brush your teeth.
Oh, I remember ads for it. Or Bop-Its or Bop-Ems. You remember those giant like things you put on your, you would like inflate it.
Moon shoes. God damn, dude.
Dude, it would be so fun if someone like make a party, like a 2000s or like a 90s party. And you could do this for any time frame where just like the whole party is just like playing with toys or like doing activities that were like all things you would do in that specific era.
Yeah.
Dude, you could like sell tickets to something like that. Like for anyone, like we always talk about the 90s and 2000s, but if you're 20 years older than us, you're talking about, the 70s, the 80s, the 60s, whatever it is, I feel like it'd be awesome. Just do like a nostalgia party where people can like buy tickets and just hang out. I mean, they do have like arcades and stuff. There's a place called Can Wonderland. Just has like tons of vintage arcade games, and it's like super fun. But that's like way back in the day. That's like 80s video games and 70s or 80s mainly video games. But yeah, dude, I don't know. It's just kind of a good idea. Like I'd love to like stick some, what are they called, like Bop-em Sock'ems or something.
Put some slinkies down the stairs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Flip it down.
I loved those, dude.
You gotta get the right momentum.
I know.
It never worked. It never always worked. I'll say that.
Did you ever go down the stairs in like a laundry bin? Or a garbage bag and just ride down the stairs?
Yeah. I would like pile up blankets on the stairs and I would jump onto them, just like body slam on with my brother. We would do some crazy stuff. But
I got a rock one, boys.
Really, you?
Absolutely. I pounded a coffee, a tea, and that whole jug of water. So,
well, unlike you, I can't sit here and talk to imaginary people. I actually have to go to the bathroom as well.
All right, let's make it happen.
Honorable.
Let's make it happen.
Cut to the little the skit.
Yeah. We'll be right back. Did you print? Yeah, you didn't print that shirt, did you?
No. But this is on. But I bought this from Ragstock. But the funny thing is, it's my same blanks.
Yeah, that's what I
use.
thought.
So, and I find that funny when you know, it's like I go to. I'm sure you do the same thing. But like, I'll go to a store and I'll see like an amazing shirt or amazing hoodie, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm like taking a photo of all the manufacturer, like I'm like looking at everything, like take the design, like I want something inspired by that. I've got like a whole folder of like merch and accessory inspirations.
Yeah.
I really want to do accessories. I know you were talking about that too. I would love to, even if it's like, yeah, like I said, like the disc golf. I'd love to do that.
You should hit up. It's kind of a separate thing. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're called Never Take It Off. Have you heard of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work with them. Johnny still works with them. That's awesome. But they'd be like, you know, you give them an idea for like a necklace or a bracelet, and they'll like custom mold stuff for you. I mean, it's like they sell it on their shop and it's like a profit split, but they were really cool. Really awesome.
It's so funny you said that, because when I went to the bathroom, my phone like was on Instagram because we were talking about the podcast, and literally Never Take It Off. It was Andy Biersack's. It was literally their post about his like line, which is so funny. But yeah, I used to like follow them back in the day.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
Love it.
What can we squeeze 10 more minutes out of? Something.
10 more minutes? Geez, how long have we been going?
An hour, 3 minutes.
That's crazy, dude. I got this alien pen.
He's got one hell of a... The guy's got a bulbous cranium. Look at that bulb.
I don't have autofocus. He's got a bulbous cranium for sure. I enjoy him.
Thumbnail right there.
Big alien man.
I don't think anyone knew that, to be honest.
The last solo pod. Whacking an alien.
Whacked an alien. He whacked an alien. It's funny.
Yeah, dude, it's funny. Like, it's so like, it's such a funny thing because like, you know, when you're like so overly into something that like absolutely no one cares about or like will ever talk to you about because they're just never going to be as into it as you are. It's like a funny thing, actually. Yeah. Because like most things I'm interested in, like they're pretty common, like music, film, disc golf. But when you get into like UFOs, dude, you're screwed. No one cares. And it's interesting that not that many people care, actually. I do find that fascinating. Like there are tons of people who do care, but like there's so much crazy like anecdotal evidence of all these crazy things, and like most people, when you like talk about it or like you see all these whistleblowers come out, it's almost like they're like, wow, that's really interesting, and then like all of a sudden it's like, well, anyways, Tim over here. It's interesting. Like it just kind of like, I think it's genuinely because unless something like affects someone's day-to-day life, either in a good or bad way, it's just not always like, for some reason, like some people just won't gravitate towards things that aren't like directly affecting them either negatively or positively. Like almost everything is like this immediate thing where there's a lot less like curiosity out there than you would think.
Right.
And intrigue.
Just like if you don't need to worry about it, think about it, then why do it? Why bother? Life, just busy. We're all just busy doing stuff for no ultimate purpose, but we're just doing it. And we create purposes, and it's fine. It's fine.
Right.
We're all just tubes with arms and legs. That's all we are.
Wacky waving, inflatable arm flailing tube men.
Dude, one thing I think it might have been my dad that would say it. Maybe my mom. But always like when they would get like pissed about me like playing video games, they would always say like, "You're glued to the tube." I always thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
The tube.
Some people call it a boob tube.
Yeah, boob
depending
tube.
on the era.
So funny.
Yeah. Yeah. It's because like tube TVs were a thing.
Dude, carrying your TV back then to like another room.
Just massive.
That was
Yeah, did you send me this? But I saw a meme. It was like it was like a strong man lifting one of those Atlas stones, and they were like, just when you needed to move your TV like 5 inches back in the day.
Yeah,
it's just massive, dude. Now it's crazy how big TVs are, and people are still like, yeah, I could get a bigger one. Like, dude, do you remember when a 50-inch TV was just massive?
Oh yeah,
it was massive. 50-inch, dude. Oh. And now it's like 65. I have a 65. And sometimes I sit down and I'm like,
it's not big enough.
I probably could have got a bigger one.
I know, it's insane.
I'm like, I'm just farther away than I thought I would be. I should probably go with a 75.
Yeah.
It's like, that's insane, dude.
It is.
I don't know. It's crazy. We're just so, it's how the society shifts, like what they get used to.
It's such an interesting thing, though, that humans, like, we just always want more. We want better. We want bigger, like.
Bigger, better.
Where does that come from and why? I mean, I think it's cool. It's a cool thing to have.
Yeah.
You know?
Survival, I guess.
I guess maybe at the core. It's such
we're
a weird
way
thing.
Past.
Yeah, we're past survival. Like,
People always caveat that and they say, oh, there is plenty of places on Earth that are not anywhere near our level. And that's true. That is true. But if we're just having a general conversation, like if you're talking about most, the average people, yes, people are like, because that's the thing is like, there is a lot of like basic survival stuff that are still very difficult to attain. But if you were to ask as like a whole society, aside from whether, you're struggling with income or housing or whatever, as a whole society, like just covering the basics. If you look at our technology, we've gone from like technology that really benefits humanity as far as like life-saving. And we've like kind of like, okay, we've got all the base necessities technologically. And now everything is just like, it's weird. It's like, it's just an improvement on what's already perfectly fine.
Exactly.
As it is.
It's like
the iPhone.
Be more comfortable. Great. This is just a little easier for you,
A little easier when things are now so easy that we have to revert to like going to the gym because now we don't do any physical exercise. So now we have to force ourselves to do things that are less comfortable because society has gotten so comfortable. Western society, at least,
If you're, like I had this the other day where like my internet wasn't working very well. And I was like, it's like a physical, like you kind of get pissed off. It's like, and I was like, wait a minute, that's ridiculous. Like, I can't even function for like 5 minutes without being able to load like a movie or a YouTube video instantly. It's like
our power went out for multiple hours at a time. You remember that?
I don't actually.
Well, it didn't happen at the same time. I'm saying I experienced a blackout and you experienced your power going out. Yep. And both of us were sitting there like it was like I remember like I was just like, it was like 2 hours, dude. I was like, I literally can't even start my oven because like, I was like, what do I do? Like, I can't do anything. None of my like food is being refrigerated right now. I don't have any, like, if my phone dies, I can't charge it. Dude, it's like you just collapse.
You're just listing stuff
so
that's
worthless.
Like a massive privilege to have. Like I can't use these.
But you think it's just like a given. Like we think it's a given. It's like that's nothing, but it's like everything once you lose it. It's just like, it's a classic, it's a classic saying like you don't know what you have until it's gone. But man, there is so much to be said about that when it comes to everyday life, everyday luxuries.
Dude, even like just like a basic house that you would consider like that's like a, like a really small, like crappy house. Like that's like, years and years ago, that would be like a wealthy person's house. You know what I mean? And nothing's ever good enough. It's just
like,
crazy.
Think about like, like teepees, igloos, just a shelter in the woods. Dude, you upgrade to a house, that's a massive shelter.
Oh, yeah.
That's even the tiniest little houses are massive shelters.
Yeah, dude.
Like, it's epic. You're living in luxury. But if, keeping up with the Joneses, it's like if the guy got down the street, he's got a much bigger house,
it's dumb.
better car, you're like, oh, you feel lack, But it makes it's crazy.
It's nuts, dude. I try to be more mindful of that now. It's just like I'm so like just blessed to have, I mean, you got to work to get there, but just to be able to be safe and comfortable, just have more than you need all the time. It's amazing. Yeah.
Totally, dude.
Pop a pod in a plastic machine and spit out a coffee whenever you want. nuts.
Have you ever had a Keurig?
Yeah, I have one now.
Oh, you use one?
Well, it's like a Ninja, but same thing, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Never was a massive fan,
No, it's not the
but
best.
they can be good.
It's just I had like the whole espresso setup for a while, and every morning I'd have, grind the beans, mix them, and do all this crap. And I just realized like I don't care enough about like the taste of the coffee isn't good enough for me to like spend all this time. Like I just want a coffee quick when I wake up, and half the time you get it wrong too, so it's not even that good.
Yeah.
But what a funny and weird thing to be like thinking about. It's like it's so ridiculous.
I need my luxury coffee.
Yeah, I need. Oh, it takes an extra 3 minutes. You know what? Nah, I'll just get the Keurig.
I never use my espresso machine, but like on the weekends, it's nice if you want to make like a nice hot latte and then you like steam the milk and you like do like latte art. It's funny because I worked at a coffee shop, but I never got to never understood latte art. It's insane, dude. Earth Cafe in Santa Monica. There's a bunch of Earth Cafe locations. It's spelled URTH. Dude, they have the best latte art. They'll make like doves, like insanely sophisticated doves, and like it's amazing, dude. I love it. I love a good latte art when you get a coffee and they like set it down and it's just like massive flower on there.
Yeah, that's nice. Haven't had a latte in years.
Yeah, they're so good. Super it's probably like I would say like I would rank that as maybe the coziest beverage you could have.
It is a cozy bev. Matcha is pretty good too.
It's like the Simpsons movie where Bart's neighbor makes him that hot cocoa. You remember that?
I don't.
He like sticks he puts out a hot cocoa and then he like comes back to it and like he puts some marshmallows in it. And then he comes back and he like shaves like chocolate shaving on it, and then he puts some like wafers in it, and then he like lights a candle on it, and it's like it looks like the most amazing hot chocolate. Don't you remember the Simpsons movie? You ever watch that?
I don't think so. I wasn't a Simpsons guy.
No, it's a really good movie though. The movie itself is nice.
I did see like the Spider Pig one, whatever that is. Is that the movie?
Yeah, that's the Simpsons movie.
Okay, then I've seen it. Remember that video game they had, like the Simpsons with like the cars and stuff? It's like a Simpsons video game.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
I think I do.
SpongeBob
Is that still running?
games were good. I don't know.
I had the SpongeBob video game where he has like an army helmet on.
Battle for Bikini Bottom. That was so good, dude.
Yep. I never played it much, but it's an iconic game.
It was.
Dude, I played Lord of the Rings: Return of the King on PS2.
Those are amazing, the Lord of the Rings games.
The elephant level was so hard.
Dude, I had the two towers. I think I had it for PS2, but there was cheats where you could make all the enemies tiny, or you could do it in slow motion.
Really?
So fun, dude. Yeah, it was awesome.
Damn.
I loved when games you had like cheat codes, and then you just like write them down and keep them in a binder,
Dude, I had the cheat code books where you go to the back of the book.
Awesome.
Oh, so awesome, dude.
Do they even do that now? I had a Medal of Honor game for PS2. And dude, there was cheat codes where you could the enemies would have like massive U-boats for heads, like just huge boats and shit. Yeah, just stuff like that. I loved it.
Which one was it? I remember playing Medal of Honor Rising Sun.
It wasn't that one.
That one was. Okay.
It was like a France, like World War II one.
Okay, yeah.
Can't remember what it was. Those games are awesome. Or you just do like Call of Duty and just do like with your friends, like bazookas only or pistols only or something. That was fun.
Yeah,
I love that.
You ever play Halo?
I did, yeah. That was fun too.
Once in a while, I'll still play Halo Reach, which is like an older. Well, it's not even that old. It's like it's after Halo 3, but at this point, it is old. I think at this point, it's probably over 10 years old. But Halo Reach, super fun. You get to like customize your armor, which is just fun because it's like a Halo game. Because the Master Chief, he's usually got like one armor, but it's a fun game. Like, and that's one where my mom like didn't hate me playing it because she was like, well, at least you're shooting like aliens.
I know,
like it's
right?
not human. My mom absolutely hated like Call of Duty. Like, I don't even think, I don't even know. Like, I did have it in high school. So like I had it when she was like, I was living at home, but I don't think she would have been into that.
Yeah, I didn't have any. I only had Medal of Honor. Call of Duty, it was like Micah's place. He had all like the cool games, the R-rated or the M-rated games.
There's always the one kid whose parents like let them play like the
Yeah, I
M-rated
know.
games, and you're like, oh my gosh. Or you can like watch a horror movie, like you said.
Yeah.
I used to have these massive, epic lightsaber battles at my friend's place at his farm. There'd be like 20 of us, and like 10 would like go on one side of his runway because he had like airplane runway on his farm because his parents were both pilots. So we'd have 10 friends on one side of the runway, 10 friends on the other side of the runway. We'd all have those plastic lightsabers where you'd like whip it and then the saber would come out.
Yeah. That's
And we would all just like, and we'd like charge, and we would all run at each other. And then if you get hit, you like lose that limb, and then you gotta
So
put your
funny.
arm behind you, and you're fighting with like one leg and one arm at the end of the battle.
That's awesome, dude.
Or you like hit someone and they're like, I hit you, and you're like, no, you didn't.
Oh, right.
And you're
right.
like, yeah, I heard it, and you're like, nope, it didn't happen. You have to
Yeah.
like prove like you have to just like use the honor system that you got hit like a
I know.
you know.
Do you ever do
It's funny.
paintball?
One time, but
It
it was always
hurts
scary
so
to me.
bad, dude.
Oh, so scary. Hurts like hell.
Does. It's
Man.
wild.
Yeah, I hated airsoft and paintball, but people always wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about this in the Christmas special, but yeah, like my friend hit me with an airsoft gun like on my bare foot, like a foot away from like, he just was like, I was on the cement in a cement basement, just like a foot away, just fires right at my foot.
They just randomly do it too.
Oh, it hurts so bad. You
It's
said
like,
you
what
got
the
hit in
hell?
the teeth.
Yeah, right in
Right.
the teeth, boys. It's painful.
My teeth, I actually got like a cramp feeling in my teeth when you said that.
Yeah.
You ever
Oof.
get that when someone says something like an injury and you get like a shiver? You're like,
Oh yeah, I get
And,
that
like, you
too.
feel it?
Ugh.
You like feel it in like the,
Like, dude, like chewing cotton. Ugh. I don't like. There's certain sounds like this. If someone scratches
nails on a chalkboard.
that one, and like scratching a seatbelt or scratching jeans, that does it for me too, boys. The seatbelt one is the
Ooh.
worst for me. Well, it's like, where does that
Really?
come from? Like, why? It's so random.
I never understood the nails on a chalkboard. Part of oh god, dude. Part of it is when you have you ever physically done it yourself?
Yeah, I have.
It's
Ugh.
like the worst sensation. I honestly, oh god, I can't talk about it.
Dude,
I'm
another one is like,
I'm getting
ugh.
goosebumps
When
right
a
now.
marker's like kind of
Ugh.
dry and you're trying to write on paper. Ugh.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Where does that come from?
Markers on paper. I hate so bad
Dude,
when people do it.
Ugh.
Oh,
I don't
I'm
understand.
getting the shivers.
I know. What the hell,
That's
dude?
so weird
Ugh.
though.
But
Like
dude,
it's like a
just
freak.
Like, the cotton from like a supplement bottle. Does that bother you? Ugh.
Yeah. It like gets in your nails. Like you,
Ugh.
dude. I just opened 2 new bottles of supplements, and they both have the cotton in there.
Oh,
I hate it.
I hate pulling it out. Have you ever put
Cotton
chew
has
on
such a weird rubby feeling to it.
it? Like, I actually really want to know where that comes from.
Okay, but this is fascinating to me. I always think about this. What is it about that? Is it like a frequency? Because we always like, Nikola Tesla always said, if you want to understand the universe, think in terms of frequency. And it's like, there's got to be like a frequency of like nails on a chalkboard that it hits your ears and it causes like a physical reaction. Like
Like a
it's almost like
glitch.
Havana syndrome, where people get hit with like electromagnetic weapons and they get like radiation burns and like they get sick.
Yeah.
UFOs, people encounter UFOs. If they get too close, they get like radiation sickness and they get sunburns. And it's like, there's got to be like some frequency that gives off, like the nails on a chalkboard. That's like very like, I don't know. It's like a dissonant frequency
Yeah.
or
Something.
dissonant harmonic. I don't know.
I don't
Weird.
know.
It's a weird one. I might have to look that one up after the pod.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Like, what is this?
I don't know. Greasy. Make sure to check out our shop.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Listen to that compression. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
The Kool-Aid man.
Yep. Yeah, but check
No.
it out. Dude, we should rip off that design on your shirt because that's fucking amazing.
Nah, you can't steal it.
Something like that, though. I love it. It's so good.
But yeah, it's a good one. It's a good design. I can tell. I like it.
Yeah,
We did it together. It's approved.
it is approved. It's grand.
Yeah. Get it while it lasts. It's only going to be around for a limited time.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Yep, we're taking her down.
So,
Dope.
anyways, good little convo.
Yep, good times. Thank you all once again. We appreciate it. your support. Glad you're liking the pod. And hit that sub. We're only 5 away. We've been struggling to get those last 5.
Well, we were joking. We said we'd delete our Spotify if we hit 200 subs, and then all of a sudden we stopped getting subscribers after that. So
yeah,
it was a joke.
It was a joke. I'm trying to think like a new way to say, and we'll catch you in the next one. Just kind of a new mood, you know? Like you're acting.
Yeah,
like,
we need a slogan. We don't really have a slogan.
No,
it's catch you in the next one.
I think it's good. I'm just
peace.
like if you're doing like an acting exercise, like how many ways could you say it? Well,
yeah.
We'll catch you in the next one.
I'll catch you in the next one.
We will catch you in the next one.
Maybe just change the emphasis, the word emphasis.
Oh, we'll catch you in the next one. Okay.
I'll catch you
in the next one. Right?
In the next one. Yeah.
Catch you in the next one. Peace. Bye. Cool. Cut.